So Suidakra was formed in 1995. No, it was 1994, the end of 1994, and 2 years ago I started with playing guitar. And at the beginning, when we just started with the band, the main influences were Blind Guardian, Skyclad, and also some black metal stuff like Emperor and Satyricon. But our sound just changed from album to album. So nowadays we are playing mixture of melodic death metal and some Irish folk. But we just found at a certain point of the band history, just found our own style. So we had not that influences we had in the beginning. So from right now, when we are writing a new album, we don't use any influence from other bands.
You just basically stick to the formula you guys came up with.
Yeah.
So have you had the same members throughout the whole career of the band, or?
Oh, especially in the beginning, we had a lot of lineup changes. I think this is a normal process in every band, because when we just started, it wasn't very professional. It was just like a school project. So, but at a special point when it gets professional, you have to look that every member is behind it, and it's just more than a hobby. And I think it's normal for a band that you just have to split with other persons who just prefer to drink beer instead of making music, So and there was a really big change after we released our album The Arcanum in 2000, where the current lineup, my drummer, which was the founder of the band, me and him, we just started with the band. He just left, our keyboard player left, and bass player and stuff like that. So I'm the only original band member right now, and Lars on the drums and Marcus on the bass. They are from the year 2001. So we are a constant lineup since that year.
So it's been about 8 years that this lineup's been together?
Exactly. We only have problems with finding a guitar player, because usually all the guitar players we had, they are pretty busy with the jobs and stuff like that. So also on this tour we have a live guitar player for this tour, but we have a new one which is pretty cool, which also did some backing vocals on the new album. His name is Sebastian. He's a pilot like Bruce Dickinson,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And yeah, we played the first 5 shows on this tour with him, and he's a pretty cool guy and fits very good in the band. So I guess when we just return to Germany, we play some single shows, and if everything's okay, he will maybe join the band as a real member.
Now I noticed that you're a drummer. I think you guys have the only drummer that can actually do the head windmill
Yeah, exactly.
while he's playing.
Yeah, that takes some skill. I have yet to see that done, and that's awesome.
Every time I'm really impressed, because he does this stuff, during very difficult parts. Like we have the song "Shattering Swords" from new album, where there is this part where he plays with the double bass, and on the right, which is very difficult to play at the same time. And he's also doing this stuff. So man, how you do this, man?
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do that before.
Yeah.
He's a very intense drummer. I mean, he's my best friend. So when he joined the band in 2001, there was this special feeling, special connection between him and me, And I realized from the first rehearsal that he's a very special drummer. He's not the fastest, the complicated drummer, but he fits very good into the music, Because I've seen so many drummers that are really good. They're just doing their stuff, which was really impressive. But he also thinks about the music, about the song structure. He's much more into the whole songwriting, not only on the drums, So, and I think this is a very important thing, a very good thing about Lars.
That's cool. So how's the tour been going, and how's the welcome been?
The tour so far is pretty cool. Every day's a highlight for us. I mean, we have played last year 6 shows on the Pagan Fest as a special guest, so this was our first US appearance, and we were like blown away, because we never noticed that there are so many Suidakra fans in the States. I mean, we have mentioned that on MySpace, but when you're on stage and see all the people sing with you and stuff like that, so we were looking forward to come back, and this time, it's such an incredible tour. It's sometimes very hard because we don't have that many day offs. Only 3 on this whole tour, so we played right now 70 shows in a row.
So how was the reception in Montreal? Was it just insane?
It was insane. I mean, a lot of people that, a lot of bands I know which played already in Canada, they told me, hey man, you have to play in Canada, there is a big metal scene, the fans going crazy and stuff like that. But yesterday we just went on stage, it was like we were at a wall of death and stuff like that. It was like, wow.
So you've got 9 albums out, right?
Right.
Do a radio show for 20 years, never knew you had 9 albums.
Yeah.
Went to your MySpace page today, and the thing just kept going. I'm like, oh my god, how many albums do they have? I think I've got 2 out of the 9.
Yeah. I think the reason why a lot of people, especially on stage, didn't notice that is because our first albums we have released, the first 3 were on an independent rip-off label, which really sucked. So distribution was mainly in Germany. Then we just had 2 albums on Central Media, and they distributed these 2 albums also only in Europe. So we had a distribution in America, I think, for the first time for the DVD last year, and the new album, of course. So that's why a lot of people didn't notice that. I mean, in Germany it's like the law is, the music law is like after 10 years, after 10 years of the release, album release, the band usually gets the rights automatically. So right now we have 2009, so we will be able to re-release the first 2 albums we made on last episode. So who knows? Maybe we'll do it at the end of the year or at the beginning of next year.
And the new one is doing really well?
Yeah, we get good response in the press, and the fans love the new album, and we also are very satisfied with the result. I mean, we worked very hard for 1.5 years on this album. It's a concept album. It's a very detailed album, and in my opinion, it's the most well-balanced album we've ever made. You know, we just put all the strength from Suidakra sound and put it on the new record. So usually when we just leave the studio after recording a new album, there's a few things that were a bit disappointed and where I think, okay, next time I'll do it better. But this time I'm still 100% satisfied.
That's cool. And you're working on a new one, you said?
Not yet. At this time we just doing some promo stuff. When we just returned to Germany, we play a couple of single shows, summer festivals, and European tour. And we hope, or we plan to start with the new songwriting at the end of this year. So we as a band plan to enter the studio next year again, but it depends on how many shows we play. Because when we're playing that much shows, it's not possible to write a new album in a very fast way, you know.
Yeah.
You know, what does Suidakra means? Some people just look in the dictionary or stuff like that. And maybe it's a combination of suicide and darkness, but nothing of it. We were just drunk and we wrote my name backwards. Arcadius backwards is Suidakra. That's all behind.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because our former drummer, his name was Stefan. He had a teddy bear from his girlfriend, which was called Neffet, so Stefan backwards. And I thought, what a stupid idea, you know. So we decided to write all the names backwards, and we were laughing at the pronunciation. And when it came my turn, it was Suidakra, and at that time we actually were looking for a new band name. And I just thought, well, that sounds like a metal band, so let's call the band Suidakra.
That's definitely unique.
Yeah,